Hello and welcome to 2014 Energy Reading. I'm Adrienne Elise. It's a very exciting year ahead with a lot of support for manifesting our dreams and bringing forward the gifts that we have in ourselves and what we've come to from the inner work that's gone on for the last couple of years. So this is reflected how we start the year is January 1st. There's a new moon on the 1st, and this is an alignment that is reflected throughout the year, that we're coming into our destinies. We're coming into the reason why we are here on the planet and understanding that. And that's really beautiful because we're moving into the year of the horse this year. And the horse has a lot of energy of forward motion and also freedom. And so we are in a place to really come into our own authority within ourselves and on the planet, and also to move forward with our dreams and visions of our new earth. So January, the energy of January is really flavored by this Venus retrograde that started in the solstice of 2013. And this goes until the end of January, and it's in Capricorn with the Sun as well as Pluto, which is in square Uranus, which is the major astrology for this time that we live in. And we've talked about the Pluto-Uranus square having 7 major exacts. And this year we have number 5 in April and number 6 in December. And so we're moving into these higher chakras. If you see these 7 exacts, it's the 7 major chakras. Last year was a lot about preparing for the heart chakra activation and kind of harmonizing that whole energy. And now we're starting to bring what we've learned and the truth of ourselves, this revolution of the self from that Uranus and Aries, to the surface as we express our new world, express what we want to create in this new reality as the old paradigm falls away. And so this Venus retrograde is asking us about these structures in our life and whether or not they support what we love. Because Capricorn is the sign of structure. And so this Venus retrograde is kind of asking us to reevaluate the things in our life and whether or not they're in alignment with what we really care about. And so this is a whole shift within each of us around what is our duty and responsibility and what is our love and passion. And these have kind of been separated as the timeline of the heart and the head, the divine destiny and the earth false shadow paradigm have been kind of separated in this duality consciousness. And so we're really feeling these come back together. And the result, on a very personal level, is recognizing that what you really care about, what you're passionate about, what you really love, that is your work here. That is your duty here, to bring your creative impulse, the very unique creation energy that you bring in your individuality here to the planet right now. And that is what this time is about. 2012 marked the solstice of 2012 marked the end of a shadow yuga, a whole period of time. And now we're moving into a brand new. And what happens is when we leave the old behind, we don't have structures anymore for the old way of doing things. And so that's why our world is kind of falling apart. Now, on top of that, we have a lot of influx of energies coming to the planet. And there's going to be some major kind of new frequencies, whole new energies, different ways of feeling. You're going to feel different in your body and need to adjust to those. And this is kind of as we ascend into higher consciousness. So 2014 is going to be a lot about harmonizing to these higher energies. And so we've got the forward motion of the horse, but we've also got this energy of the horse after a long run in the meadow by the peaceful connection with Mother Earth and allowing for that time to adjust to these higher frequencies so we really can get in the race and run forward and make the leap into our new world and bring forward our ideas, our dreams, and our destinies. And so at the end of January is when we move into this year of the horse, and that is also when Venus goes direct. So on the 30th is the new moon, and on the 31st is the official Chinese New Year. And so that is when we go from the snake to the horse. It's very different energy. The year of the snake is about shedding that old skin. And as that old skin sheds, the snake kind of just is stuck laying there. And then again, when they have even the new skin, they still have to kind of wait and dry in the sun before they can really move forward. So the snake is a lot about kind of being stuck and examining the inner parts of ourselves and not necessarily taking that into forward motion. So the year of the horse is really us taking a huge leap forward in manifestation of the dreams, the visions, the seeds that we've been planting as we've had this dissolution, this breaking down, this Pluto square Uranus energy over the last few years is starting to really come to the foreground. And now we're kind of having, as we move into the higher chakras of these activations, an ability to vision and create a new world. And so the energy of 2014 is very much supportive of that. So there's about a week at the end after this Chinese New Year and the new moon. There's a week as Venus is direct and all the planets are direct for just a kind of one little glimpse of time. And this is a great time to launch forward new projects and move forward in a very practical way, career-wise or with ideas and creative ideas in life. Now on the 6th, though, of February, Mercury goes direct, and then it's for the rest of February, Mercury goes retrograde for February. And so it's going to be kind of interesting this spring because right after Mercury goes direct, then Mars goes retrograde. And these are our action planets, the planets that allow us to move forward. And when they're in retrograde, we're kind of adjusting, analyzing, and kind of retracing our steps to make sure we're going in the right direction. And so that's happening a lot. So we have this forward umph of moving into the year of the horse, but then we kind of have this series of retrograde planets, of our personal action planets in retrograde, kind of pulling us back, pulling at the reins. Now, the horse is very impatient. It's at the gate. It's ready to go. Let me in the race. Let me win the race. And that's a great energy for us. But with these retrogrades, we kind of have to have all of these changes and shifts and new energies on the planet. The horse is kind of continually adjusting. It's on the path. It's going where it needs to go, but it wants to take the path of least obstacles. So it's going to micro adjust, and that's kind of the energy of this spring. We're going to have forward motion, but with these planets in retrograde, it's kind of like, micro adjustment. Nope, maybe that wasn't right, moving this way. And that reflects on this deep inner changes that we're having. This Uranus in Aries, this revolution of the self and the dissolution, Pluto in Capricorn, the dissolution of our structures and breaking down of what's no longer serving us. And that's kind of where we're at with this old paradigm. And it's very much reflected as in Mars is in Libra for a long time because it has a retrograde. And while it's in Libra, it comes into a cardinal cross with these planets, with Pluto and Uranus, as well as Jupiter and Cancer. And that happens in April. And so April is a power month. April is when there's going to be huge upgrades of energy changing on the planet. And that's because of a whole bunch of astrology that's going on. But this Mars is our fighter planet, our action planet moving forward, but with fight, the male kind of energy. That is in Libra, which is the sign of peace and harmony and balance and love. And so it's a really great placement because we're finding new ways to fight. And now that coming into a cardinal cross, or maybe picking our battles in a different way, coming into that cardinal cross with those other planets is really kind of what is the battle we want to fight here. Because when you fight the old paradigm, we've been fighting these structures that are no longer working, these structures that are set up, the shadow, for us to fail in our destinies and our dreams, and to continue to fight them is actually feeding them. And so this Mars in Libra is really awesome energy for us to rethink our fight and maybe pick our battles. And it's kind of like, old system, do we even want to mess with it and band-aid it and try to, kind of fight within that paradigm? It's like, no. Uranus Pluto square is like, throw all that away. We've got to start over. No band-aids here, And that's kind of what's going on in our own personal life as well. A lot of breaking down of what we thought was something that was going to hold us, like our relationships and our career. And it's good because we're coming into a whole new way of being. And believe me, these new energies coming, infusing on the planet might be uncomfortable at first because we have to let go of what's not supporting that. But ultimately, they're going to feel really good, and you're going to feel a lot better about yourself and about your path as we come into these supportive energies. Um, so this Mars is retrograde and so stays a very long time in Libra. And in April, in December, it came into a T square with these planets and then into the cardinal cross. Now the other planet in the cardinal cross is Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Cancer, and we've had a year about of Jupiter in Cancer, and that's beautiful energy as well, because Jupiter is the expansive part of ourselves, the part of ourselves that wants to widen our thinking and our spiritual kind of bigger picture view, and that's in the sign of the home and family and safety, security, Mother Earth, and so it's kind of we're rethinking what makes us feel secure, and this expansive energy in Cancer has been really an opportunity to contemplate our home in the greater cosmos. And so one of the main things that's happening is we've got this kind of real crux of these things coming together in April, but then later in the year, in July, Jupiter will go direct and move into, as it will go direct this spring, but then gradually in July move into a whole new sign, into Leo. Now Leo is the sun, and its expression. And so it's neat because we're kind of having this Jupiter energy in Cancer, and we've been really in this energy, and that's been good for us. But it's kind of maybe been a little bit of an inner expansiveness that we've been looking at, and now we're going to have an outer expression of that. People are awakening very quickly on the planet and seeing that there's so much more to what this life is, and that there's extraterrestrial influences out there. There's a technology that's going to be supportive of us moving into a whole new paradigm here. And that's going to be starting to come to the surface as Jupiter moves into Cancer later in the year. And particularly July and August have some really great energies of expressing our new world. What does it really look like? Just kind of the creative expression of what it is we're moving into. And so that's a really kind of neat energy. But kind of going back to April, it's this power month because we have two eclipses. We've got that cardinal cross with Mars and Jupiter and Pluto and Uranus really activating that square. And we have an exact on the 17th of April, the fifth exact of this Pluto-Uranus square. And so we're really coming into this square of the dissolution and breaking down and revolution of what's serving us and what's not. And so April is going to have some powerful energies. It's going to be a month with that Mars retrograde, our action kind of pulling back on the reins, a desire to move forward, but we're rethinking the way we're moving forward. Mars is our absolute fighter action planet, so we're rethinking that in Libra, and kind of letting the shakedown happen on the planet and in ourselves, like letting the release happen of this old work we've been doing with Saturn and Scorpio and this energy of the year of the snake. Letting that all shake away, everything that's not serving us, and come into these new energies, make way for these new energies. So April is going to be about that, very powerful month. And then in May, we're going to start feeling things really start to move because Mars goes direct. And we also have Venus moving into Aries, which is going to visit Uranus and Aries, and Venus, the planet of course, of our love and joy and relationships and harmony. And so that we're really going to be feeling in May as Venus comes out of the period of that retrograde from January. We're going to kind of feel what that was really about in May when Mars goes direct. And then that it's interesting that it comes over the place where Uranus is because it's triggering that revolution of the self and kind of bringing it home to what we really care about and what we really love. And so our inner revolution has to do with not wanting to compromise who we are and what we're here to do anymore. Having the moments of our day be our truth in our expression, being what we're really here for, not doing the work of other people's agenda. And so, huge energy for shifting in your life in March, April, May, moving forward with a career or a way to make money in this world, that what you're doing during your life that really resonates with the truth of who you are. And that's what this year of the horse is about. It's like, come on, forward motion, let's go, full throttle ahead. Now, and so the energy of that with these all these planets going retrograde and that impatience, the antidote, there's going to be, horses are impatient, they're ready to go, let me at it at the gate, you know. And so with these planets all in retrograde, we're kind of pulling back on the reins a little bit. And the antidote to this impatience is, one, being organized, clean your house. And interesting, in homeopathic medicine, people who resonate with needing the horse milk remedy, it's a mammal, so you use the milk. Um, there's this energy of fastidiousness. They're very clean, they're very organized, and I think it's kind of like, in order to be ready to just move forward and head in the direction you want to go, you got to take the time to clean your psychic space, to meditate, to be in that beautiful meadow, to absorb the peaceful energies, to be at peace in yourself. Part of our ultimate duty in this, or our ultimate like role in this year of 2013 or 2014 with these new energies coming in, is just to be in a peaceful state, to help harmonize these energies. And so that's the flip side of the impatience of the horse, being able to be in that field and to feel safe and have that connection with Mother Earth. And so meditation, quiet time, staying very organized, and cleaning your house are going to be the antidotes to that impatience. If you're not feeling like you're moving forward, it's like, when in doubt, clean your house. That's a good motto for 2014. But then in May, Mars goes direct, and so we're going to have a big shift of energy there and forward motion. And it's interesting because in April and May we have these action planets moving, going direct, moving forward. But then we have all of our um, big planets going retrograde. So we've got Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus all retrograde, starting in I think June, but then in July. And so this is really interesting because we've got the forward action and the motion and there's action plans moving forward, but then the big picture is shifting, you know. So then we're going to have really some realizations happen about what this spring has been about, this dynamic back and forth, the horse making those micro adjustments. The horse doesn't know where it's going, it has to just head that way. And it's kind of useful for us right now to not know exactly what it looks like or exactly where we're headed, because there's so much revolutionary change going on. We want to be able to adjust to that. And the energy of that is 2014 is maybe not just manifestations of the seeds you've planted for your dream life, but more magical and wonderful than you can even imagine. So you want to open to these possibilities. And to do that, you can't be set on exactly what it looks like. That's when you're going to run into some trauma, to some energy of kind of feeling like you're not moving forward, because we have to make these micro adjustments and be ready to be flexible and take big leaps and big chances. 2014, the year of the horse, is not the year to say maybe next year. It is happening now. Not to say that that impatience should get to you, because we're coming into back into the divine timeline, divine destiny, which was interrupted in the 60s when this planetary configuration, similar planetary configuration, happened with Pluto and Uranus. And so the energies were disrupted of the divine plan coming in. But now that we've outside of that shadow yuga after 2012, the divine plan can come back in. So we're aligning with our destiny. Things lining up in our life. That new moon on January 1st is indicative of that. It's just like, okay, we're in alignment where there's help and support instead of obstacles. And that's so much this year of the horse. And moving forward with, in a big way. Maybe, like I said, more magical and beautiful than you can imagine. And so we're going to start really seeing that in July because Jupiter is then going to move into Leo and we're going to have this outward expression. I think that July and August could be great times for disclosure on the planet. Um, hey, we are not alone. And you know what? The horse is about freedom, about being able to ride into freedom. And it's also the horse being a part of the life of humans brought humans closer together and they could more easily visit each other, and it's almost like the internet. It's the horse is a great launch into the Aquarian age, which is part of the shift from the 2012 thing that was the beginning of the Aquarian age, but we've kind of had this 2013 was an adjustment year, and now 2014 and then really 2015 we're jumping into that Aquarian energy. But Aquarian energy is about the individual self and the coming together as a collective whole, and technology represents that. This energy of bringing us together. So technology plays a very important role, but we're not necessarily hooked up with the divine energy with the technology. But this energy of the technology bringing us closer together, making the internet, making the world small, that's what the horse did in culture. It allowed people to come closer together. And so the horse, on the one hand, is kind of this freedom from the old paradigm, from these obstructive, the shadow matrix that kept us in wanting, in failing in our, in coming, bringing forward our dreams, set us up for failure. Now the energy is setting us up to really move and come into alignment with this divine destiny. And then the other part of the year, the horse making the world smaller. And in this case, our cosmic view. So we've had this time of Jupiter in Cancer, bringing our cosmic view of the world, seeing ourselves as cosmic beings, not just earthlings. We're part of this way massive whole. There's tons of more of universes and galaxies out there, and we can't even imagine. And so July and August, with this horse energy really getting full throttle and all those planets going, action planets going direct, we're coming into this vision. I think we could have some disclosure about what's really going on. Seeing ourselves as part of a cosmic community, Mother Earth taking her role back into her divine destiny and coming back into alignment with the star councils and in communication. And that brings forward the energy of freedom, is that this new technology, this suppression of extraterrestrial influence in our life and in the cosmos, is not about us not knowing about aliens. It's about us not knowing about the technology that they bring. And part of this technology that's been on the planet but's been suppressed, that won't be able to be hidden anymore, in disclosure, is free energy. And so the horse represents freedom. It's really time for us to come into our freedom, to recognize that we can all have this box in our house that generates more than enough electricity for all of our needs. And that disconnects us from the grid and literally the shadow matrix. We no longer need to be held down by the power structures of the energy companies. And so that's a whole breakdown in our whole financial system, but it's going to happen. It can only be held off for so long. And so I don't know, July and August are really great times, is that we come into that Jupiter and Leo, of this expression of what it means to be home in the cosmos, the earth to come back into its divine destiny. So congratulations on making it here to be a part of this magical experience. I think by July and August of this year, we're going to be feeling like, wow, we're so lucky to be on the planet right now and experiencing this amazing transformation, and holding that peace, being the horse in the meadow at peace and connected with Mother Earth, Gaia, is going to be what gets us through all of these changes and the shakedown and the breakdown. So July and August, really awesome, great energy for that. And then as we move into the fall, there's a lot of stuff happening. And in October, we have another power month like April. We've got 2 eclipses again, this time Mercury retrograde. And we also have just a lot of aspects and a lot of things going on. And so it's moving into the fall is going to be pretty intense. October, when Mercury will go direct on the 25th, and so we're going to really kind of be and then we go into November, and there's tons of the Scorpio energy and a lot of aspects, just like boom, 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 all these things happening in a way. October, the intensity of that is going to be kind of like April, another kind of like, whoa, major increase of energies on the planet, major shakedown of what's no longer working, releasing the crystallizations in our body and in our life, as we move into a more vibrational awareness with these new energies moving up in our consciousness. And so we have this intense kind of energies in October, and then November is really busy with aspects and a bunch of Scorpio energy, and it's going to be a little bit like revisiting this last 2013 era, this energy, this year of the snake. It's going to be kind of going back into those depths and kind of really cleaning out the closets, and did we get all of that yucky stuff, that subconscious, because as we move into these higher dimensions and start creating, recognizing we create our own reality, we want to make sure we're not creating out of our subconscious fears. And so those have got to go. And so we're having this beautiful year of support moving forward and kind of feeling safe to expand ourselves. And then we're going to revisit that time to release all that in October, November. And then in December, we have the 6th exact. So it's kind of fitting we have that revisiting as we move from the expression, the 5th chakra activation, which happens in April, and up into the 6th chakra, which is our intuitive awareness. And so this kind of, we have that beautiful time in July and August of expressing our new world, and then we have to kind of let go of whatever that brings up, all that leftover stuff of our subconscious and fears and self-condemnation and kind of shame and the feelings that are not really the truth of us, but they're in the biological identity of humanity. And so that's going to be, October, November is going to be a really great time for upgrading, downloading, changing our DNA. And so again, great time to be at peace, keep your house clean, and know that you're doing this amazing work just by being able to be centered in yourself and be grounded and be here. And then in December, there's this huge shift because we move up into that 6th chakra, so our intuitive awareness is now going to be hooked up. The throat is narrow, so it's a little bit like going back to that snake place, going, ooh, here we are expressing it, and it's like, oh wow, what then is going to be revealed as we go to move into these higher energies of that stuff we've been hiding, again, visiting that Scorpio energy of the subconscious, and then hooking up to our higher chakras and being like, I totally get it now. So the end of 2014 is like this leaping off place into this age of Aquarius, into the manifestation of our new world. And that's going to be we're going to be getting glimpses of it like throughout the whole year, but July and August, kind of reconciling the last bit of that. And what this is the Saturn and Scorpio energy. Saturn is our work, duty, kind of limitations, karma, and that's been in the sign of the deepest inner subconscious. So that's where our work has been. But in December, it moves into from out of Scorpio and into Sagittarius, and that's a very different energy. And then our work is going to be about expanding the truth of who we are, expanding our horizon, expanding, so we're really going to know in 2015 that we're part of this whole cosmic adventure. It's not just us here, humans on the planet, like, with our nose to the grindstone in our cubicle working. It's like a whole different way of seeing the world. So 2014 is so important, so crucial, and so beautiful, bringing forward the work, that inner work that happened over these last few years. And so on the 15th of December is that 6th exact, where we come into the knowing of our cosmic self, the knowing of what we're really doing here and creating a new paradigm, a new world in this age of Aquarius. And on the solstice of December 21st, 2014, Uranus will have been in a long retrograde cycle, and since I believe July, and then that is going to be going direct. And Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, and in this potent square, December being that exact 6th square, when Uranus goes direct, it's kind of like, oh, we're going to run with this now. Like, we're going to run with this revolution of the self, that like, we are not the dirty humans you made us out to be, the slave culture. We are particles of God, and we are magical, and we're creating our own reality, and we can handle this. The technology is here, people. The solutions are here. Everything we need to create a new world is available for us once we are ready and can disconnect. This year is about really pulling out all of the cords, pulling out all the plugs, pulling out all the hooks of this lower vibrational energy, the fear, the poverty, the struggle, and just being like, no longer true for us, like just pulling all that out. So you're just um, disconnecting yourself from the shadow matrix and saying, no, actually, this, I'm not a slave to you. I'm my own power source. And that's the horse. The horse is really representative of that energy of being authority within yourself. Horses, of course, you can train them and everything, but they pretty much keep a mind of their own as well. And you're not going to argue with them since they're very large creatures. Now, another cool thing about the horse is this positive energy of the herd. And this is really important that we have this 2014 to come into that Aquarian energy of the strong individuality, that Aries energy, revolution of the self. Who am I? What am I here for? And then coming into that collective where we all know we're on the same page, we're one, we're part of a greater whole, we want to make this change happen. So that's using the positive aspects of the herd energy of the horse, and that, it's kind of like when even one of us knows how powerful we are as a power generator, as a particle of God, as a part of the whole, and the whole is accessible from within us, then it doesn't make sense anymore to be under a power structure of, say, like the 1% of wealth and the 99%. That just no longer has any bearing, because the power of the people is coming back as we realize our power, and that's very much in the year of the horse. Now, 2015 is the year of the sheep. So that kind of has some negative connotations around the herd. But if we get our act together in 2014 and run with their ideas and have the strength to see ourselves as cosmic beings, to find that peace within ourselves of the moment, the tranquility that will allow us to harmonize to all these changes, then we can be a really powerful sheep herd as we come together into oneness in 2015 and be like, okay, we're all in this together. Are we ready to go? And really move into that new world. And so this is kind of 2014 is practicing, moving forward, taking those chances, taking those leaps. You people, you know who you are on the edge of this wave that are here to demonstrate our new reality, to demonstrate abundance, to demonstrate joy, to demonstrate the divine feminine in action, which is this using your creative potential, coming into the duty that is your creative expression, your passion. So we are here in this year of 2014 to prepare the masses to move to this place. And so if you're here on the edge of that wave, just know that you are coming into a great support. You're going to be finding your soul team, and you have a lot of support in the cosmos, ready to shift, ready to make this happen, and just go ahead and be there and be a part of it. And that is I'm going to be offering some classes this year really to support these dynamics. Teleseminar series one being landing your soul purpose. That's, I know I'm here for something, let me at it, what am I supposed to do? And of course, the year of the horse doesn't really know what it looks like exactly, but they want to head in that direction. And so for those people that you know that you're on the edge of this wave to be a part of this movement and are ready to move, that class is for you. The other class is leadership and abundance training, to get used to the energies of being a leader, to come into any fear of your own power, to be able to have that authoritarian place within yourself, your own authority in your soul matrix, so that you can stay clear of the distracting energies and not let energies feed on you, but be more of a radiant light and be comfortable in that place of being a radiant light. And So that is demonstrating the true abundance as we receive these cosmic energies, allow our own individual light to arrive here on the planet, to be here, to be home in this body, and show our divine self, our divine nature, and lead the world, um, be the edge of the pack of the wild horses, taking us to the cliff and over and down and safely landing in this new earth reality. Blessings for being on the journey, showing up and being in your light and listening all the way through this long-winded 2014. But I hope you have a beautiful path forward. And namaste, blessings on your journey, and thank you for showing up in the light and being here. Everyone is so needed and important at this time, and so thank you. Namaste, and we'll talk to you next time.